I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't be control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop, stop, stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Class of 2021. Welcome to graduation day. I'd also like to welcome administration, faculty, staff, GME, family, and friends. I am so honored to be here. I'm Dr. Gabrielle Dialli, and I am a graduating third year from the Internal Medicine Residency Program. You guys look amazing. Some of you are wearing prom outfits. I love it. So I'm excited to be on this stage for you guys. I was really nervous a couple of days ago, but I realized that I'm just speaking to family here. And so you guys can be seated, sorry. So I don't know about you all, but this is about my 7th graduation that I've been in. Kindergarten, that one was pretty good. 5th grade, high school, undergrad, grad school, med school. I started really feeling myself in that one. And now we're here in residency. And today I feel unstoppable. You all are unstoppable. Each one of us really has been on our own journey to get to this very same place. Some of us have sacrificed time to be with people we love. Some of us have sacrificed relationships that we cherished. But we've all been dedicated to be here. Medical school was really, really tough. And residency was a whole other story, with a little bit of COVID sprinkled on us. But we did it. We are still standing. You know, God has really kept us in his favor. And I thank God every single day to have gotten through this journey with all of you. This room is full of the future of medicine. It's full of business gurus, real estate investors, stock exchangers. I could even see myself being a housewife.
Arlene, I only can see your still picture.
But I love it. I love that we have a variety of souls here, and we're going to go out in the world and be different. This is where our dreams brought us today. Imagine what's next. You know, I recently read that the highest human act is to inspire, and you all are truly inspiring. Congratulations, Morehouse, you did it. So I'd like to introduce the first speaker. She was the founding director of the Centers for Women's Human Health at Meharry Medical College. She was award-winning, one of the top 100 Georgians. She was the first woman to lead Morehouse Medical School as the president and dean, Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice.
Hello, I am assuming that perhaps you can hear me because I cannot see anyone.
No, we can't see you, but we can hear
Hello?
you.
Can you hear me? Colleen, it just says you started screen sharing. That's all it says. But if you can hear me, that's fine. Okay, well, I don't have to see myself. Okay, so great. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So graduates, the time has finally come for each of you will get the opportunity to truly spread your wings and take flight. I know this is an exciting time for you, and I wish I was there to see you in person. To my board and my team told me I needed to take. We are all so excited for you and proud of each of you. No one could have predicted the final year of your training, that your final year, like as residents, would be met with a global pandemic that literally brought this country and the world to its knees. And as the country grappled, you all, with the tragic loss of now the nearly 600,000 lives, the critical role of healthcare professionals, healthcare providers, physicians like yourself has become more and more evident. I've seen the email trails over the last couple of weeks about whether it's clinicians or providers or physicians. You are physicians. Don't ever lose that title. As we have watched the curtain come down on health disparities in the country through the COVID-19 lens, we have also began, though, to understand the political and social determinants of health that lead to poor health outcomes. And unfortunately, this high incidence of death in Black and Brown communities. Now, we've known this, and unfortunately, you have lived this in real time. But you also should know that because you have lived this in real time, how uniquely prepared you are, how culturally competent you are, how innovative you are to ensure that health equity is attainable for all, particularly for those who are in underserved communities. Because it was you, the residents, the attendings, and the physicians at Grady and CHOA and the VA and the CAB Medical and all the other places where you touched that made the difference in the outcomes for countless of patients. It was you at the patient's bedside as they struggled to breathe. And they were scared and they were frightened, unsure what this virus would do to them. It was you who held the patient's hand, who held their loved one's hand, who reassured the children and the families that their loved one was in good hands. It was you putting your fears, your own families, and your own health in the background so you could be on the front line, fighting what you could see and fighting what you could not see. But leaning in on your knowledge, your compassion, your strength to push through the bleakest of hours and days. You were called to serve, and you all have answered the call more valiantly than we could have ever expected, asked, or imagined. You have stood as our examples of what an MD looks like, or what a physician assistant studies person would look like. You are a PA now. And truthfully, all of our undergraduate medical education programs stand as an example of what it means to be in these roles and hope for what's next. And you have shown what's possible in the what's next. What I am so proud of, though, is that what you have demonstrated to the world is the commitment and the heart that is required to practice medicine. And most of you have done it with some level of trepidation, but excitement. And combining that, you have shown what it means to graduate from Morehouse School of Medicine. Morehouse School of Medicine graduates do not merely provide care. They are the catalyst for change. They are the warriors for our patients in our communities, and they are the advocates for the marginalized, the voiceless, and the underserved. And they are beacons of the light that shows through the darkness in uncertain times. And so while some of your days may have seemed blurry, and there are vague memories in the Rolodex of your experiences here at MSM, remember, during the orientation, we charged you with remembering in that call. I remember speaking to some of you. We charged you with what it would mean to practice medicine, and that it was a privilege, and to always remember that innovation coupled with compassion is the hallmark of a great physician, a great PA leader. I've challenged you on multiple occasions to ask the question, based on who is sitting in front of me, what's possible? You surely are going to have to ask that question multiple times over the next couple of years of your practice. And if you are to be the provider, the physician, the PA leader, the partner, the advocate for that patient, you will ask it many times over. I would be remiss if I did not thank the faculty and staff present today who have been instrumental in educating and training each of you. So to the faculty and staff, I say thank you so much. To the GME office and to Dr. Wimley, thank you for your leadership and continued efforts to ensure that our residency training programs not only meet the regulatory standards, but produce the caliber of professionals that will lead the creation and advancement of health equity. To each of the award recipients, which will be given at the end of the program of Operation Keepsake, I said congratulations. You will hear more about who those winners are and for our resident loan repayment program. Remember, the state of Georgia gave us a nice gift several years ago, and we've used much of that money for innovation. And I cannot think of anything that was more innovative than Operation Keepsake, identifying persons who had significant loan for paying for their education and giving them just enough relief that hopefully it incented them to want to stay here and practice in the state of Georgia. Congratulations to those awardees, and congratulations to the graduates. Thank you for being the example of what excellence looks like at Morehouse School of Medicine. Thank you, Dr. Wimley, and thank you, Ms. Stevens.
I would like to thank Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice for her kind words and for taking the time to help with the graduation today. I hope her words do not pass you by as we continue with the program. As she said, you all have sacrificed so much, and this year has been a year unlike any other, and it shows in the way that you all continue to give passionate care, continue to represent Morehouse well, and continue to learn as you became the graduating third year class of 2021 here today. So you're probably wondering who I am, for those who don't know. My name is Ashley Roxanne Peterson. I am the Resident Association President this year and part of the Family Medicine program. Oh, no. No applause for myself, but instead to you. Let's give it up to all of our 2021 graduates. Woo! Is that the loudest that I can hear? Let's really give it up. Thank you. For the doctors that are here before us, Morehouse School of Medicine's residency programs started in 1982. At that time, a gallon of gas cost $1.30. I don't know about you, but within the last month, I've paid up to, I think, $4 almost for a gallon of gas because we had a shortage. But what I'm highlighting here is that the value continues to go up. And I know the same will be for you all. Your learning does not stop here. Your value is more than just who you are as a doctor as well. You all are sisters and brothers, daughters, moms, sons. You hold many titles. And more than just being a physician, your value is where you touch people at home, in the community, and elsewhere. I know that not only are you all valuable as residents, I know that you all are valuable to our communities. That's why people have invested so much in Morehouse School of Medicine and have invested in some of the residents that will stay here. Historically, more than 60% of residents from Morehouse's GME stay in Georgia. I think that shows a heart and a passion for those that are here. And even more, I think that you all will go forward and mentor others. You are paving the way. Some of you might be the first doctor in your family. Some of you might be the children of immigrants. Some of you might be someone who is a legacy physician, but nevertheless, your value still stands. And as you continue on, I hope that your value in yourself and the value that you give back to the community will only multiply. If the price of bread can, so will you. So from the patient whose troubled delivery you helped perform, to the person whose surgery you completed, to the person that you saw in clinic, the child whose runny nose you wiped on the floors. From all of the specialties, no matter which one, you hold great value, and I know that you all will continue to be successful. So research shows that the average resident completes 3,000 hours of training. No applause for the 3,000 hours of training. That's what we should be clapping for because these people have worked extremely hard. And so I leave you with this. At this time, you will be graduating and starting your new jobs. Some of you may join the military. Some of you may go to underserved areas. Unfortunately, we may have to say goodbye to more residents than we want to, who will be leaving Georgia to start. But whether it's a fellowship or you're starting to receive your first attending paychecks, as Drake said, continue to know your worth. Thank you. And now we will have a special presentation. If you can please look towards the screens. Congratulations, class of 2021. You deserve it.
Now, okay. It's always nice going down memory lane. This is my 11th graduation for joint graduation for residents. And I'll have to say that I was just telling Ms. Baker, who is our keynote speaker, that probably resident graduation day is probably one of the top 3 days as far as professionally in my life. Because of the fact that it is such an occasion for you all to be able to celebrate all the hard work that you've done. And as Gabrielle said, yes, you guys have had a lot of graduations. I mean, you can count them. And I remember when I first became DIO, I said, we do a joint graduation? When I graduated from residency, we didn't do a joint graduation. We did like a little ceremony where we came and they gave us a little certificate, but that was probably about it, right? Our families didn't come. We didn't get dressed up. I think I had my scrubs on and a coat. And they were like, Yolanda Hill. And I just went up and got my certificate and I think went back to the floor. But I think that it's important for us, Mr. Booth always told me, it's very important for us to celebrate even the small milestones in life. No matter how small we think they are, they really do become memorable and large in a sense. And if I think about it, graduation from residency is probably one of the hardest graduations I've had to crawl to get to, right? You know, high school, hopefully for most, is okay, right? For the group in here, we should be like, okay, high school, okay. We're just trying to see if we got valedictorian or salutatorian, right? Okay, but we're going to get through high school. College, for the most part, still, most of you guys were probably about to go into medical school, so you'd already been accepted. So that was probably kind of easier for you. Medical school, that's when you start to get the hard faultness, right? So you got a couple bruises coming across with the medical school graduation, but I made it, right? I'm here. I'm a what? MD, right? Or DO. But residency, that's the one where I'll tell you, my first year, I went to Chicago. I did my residency in Northwest. I did pediatrics. In October, I called home and said, I quit. I told my dad, I said, I'm quitting. I'm coming back home. It's too cold up here. I don't like the cold. He said, well, why did you pick Chicago? I don't know. I said, my dad got in the car. He was like, okay, I'm on my way to get you. You know, your daddy's always going to come get you. He said, have you told your program director? No. I'm going to go tell her tomorrow. Okay. So that night, my dad called and said, before you go talk to your program director, I just need you to have a plan for how you're going to pay back all those loans and what kind of job you're going to get that's going to pay you enough money to pay off your debt. But, because I was going to go back and be a manager at Kroger, how I was in college. And he said, so just think about that before you go in that office. So, of course, I'm here, which means I never went in the office. And my dad's Jedi mind trick worked, huh? So with residency graduation for me, that probably was the most meaningful as far as the blood, sweat, and tears that I had put into getting to that moment, because I finally had come to something that I felt in my life that I had really fought for. As all the speakers before stated, there are lots of things that go on in residency, lots of missed memories. I miss weddings, you miss births, you delay things. There's a lot of people don't understand what you do, right? They think that, you can still come to everybody's birthday party and stay all day. They just don't understand the studying piece. My family used to say, why do you have to study? You're not in school anymore, right? So really just think about this occasion, relish it, celebrate yourself, allow yourself to celebrate this opportunity. If your family and friends are here, definitely celebrate with them. If they're not, you can celebrate on your own or via Zoom with them. But take this opportunity to recognize it and respect it for what it is, because it truly is, in my opinion, not a small milestone, but a large milestone. So with all of those things, from Mr. Booth telling me that when I first came into the GME office 11 years ago, is one of the reasons why we still have the joint graduation. Because at Morehouse School of Medicine, it is important for us to get together to celebrate us as a unit. And people say, well, Dr. Wimley, when you guys grow and y'all expand, y'all not gonna be able to do a joint. Yes, we are. We'll just be downstairs. Okay, but that's how important it is. So that's what the occasion is for you all, is to really kind of think about it, reflect upon it. We have people in here who've been in residency from 2 upwards to 5 years, with the majority of folks doing a 3-year program, but definitely looking back on those hard-fought years and what you finally have achieved. Now, the last thing on the occasion is they asked me, well, why do you have graduation the first Friday of the month in June? Why don't you have the last? Well, we can't because of the fact that some of you guys who leave early to go to fellowships and do other things, and so that's why we celebrate that, because some of the residents have said, well, we graduated now, we don't have to go back to the floors. I say that's fine with me, but you might want to check with your program director first, okay? But Dr. Wimberly said it was okay, so if they tell you no, it's not because I said no, right? Okay, so I think, Colleen, did we have a slide up? Ashley touched on it just a little bit, but I just wanted to bring your attention to the booklet. In our booklet every year, we pride ourselves on being able to update our statistics, and I just wanted to bring your attention to it. So for on the right side, what you'll see is so far since our inception of residency programs, we've had a total of 981 graduates from our residency program. And of those, 61% have remained to practice or enter fellowship in the state of Georgia. Of the 981 graduates, a total of 16%, or 156 that we have graduated, have been African-American males. Of the graduates, about 57% have pursued careers in primary care, and 7% of our resident graduates have graduated from a Georgia high school. For your class, 2021 at a glance, there are 50 of you graduating this year that span 7 specialty residency programs and 1 subspecialty fellowship program, cardiovascular disease. Of the 50 graduates, 14% are African-American males, 54% will remain in the state of Georgia to practice medicine or to continue a fellowship program, 26% of you guys will practice primary care, and 28% graduated from a Georgia high school. So people ask, why do we look at those particular statistics? Because one of the things that Morehouse School of Medicine and the mission is to be able to train physicians to serve the underserved, as well as to train physicians who also, some of which will remain in the state of Georgia. And so we have really kept that commitment to our local community and to our state to say that, yes, some of our residents or fellows upon graduation may choose to go elsewhere, but the majority of our residents and fellows stay in the state of Georgia. And so that's why we track those. In addition to that, as you all know, which has been one of the platforms for our president and dean, Dr. Montgomery Rice, looking at African-American males in medicine, Morehouse School of Medicine residency programs have done a tremendous job of being able to recruit, retain, and graduate and make a positive impact as it relates to that. So without further ado, I want to just bring up, I have a couple of residents that are going to come up and give their experience over the past year. I thought it was very important for you all to hear from the graduates about what their experience has been with the past year. since this has been a very special and different year for us with the pandemic. First, can I have Dr. Philip Benet and Dr. Yante Wright come to the stage?
Hi, everyone. I'm Yante Wright.
I'm Philip Benet.
First, I want to say congratulations to the class of 2021. We finally did it. Whether it was battling the novel coronavirus, contemplating racial injustices in our community, or just braving the quest to find a pack of toilet tissue in Metro Atlanta, we've triumphed through major adversity over the past year. I know some of us wish that we could forever erase our memories from 2020, but would we really if we could? We asked some of our residents to share their recollections from this past year. As you will be able to tell, they are stories of strength, of dedication, and of pure endurance. Here are some of their stories.
So we spent the pandemic caring for COVID patients on oxygen on the wards and critically ill in the ICU. As the ICUs filled up and patients kept coming, we were pushed harder than we ever have been. Working in the ICUs during COVID surges was overwhelming, and we were stretched thin. I remember always being afraid of missing something on a patient simply because there were so many patients that were critically ill and that needed to be cared for all at once.
The COVID pandemic was intensely personal to us, and the suffering and death of our patients took an emotional and psychological toll on us. We had all worked in the ICU before and had learned how to cope with patients dying, but we were not prepared for how COVID took so many of our young, old, healthy, and frail patients. It was devastating to see this toll, and then to watch our leaders, national leaders that is, fail to rise to the demands of the pandemic and watch society fail to come together and protect each other from COVID.
We learned on the job in residency, but treating COVID, we were truly confronted with the unknown. There was no attending, textbook, journal, or up-to-date section to provide a quick answer. My first attending during the pandemic was very candid about the uncertainty he felt when treating patients early on in the pandemic. And this allowed me and the rest of our team to acknowledge that we were all human, all scared, and all ready to do what we needed for our patients. The responsibility we take on and the tough choices we make as doctors took on more weight.
Most of all, we wanted to share what we saw our patients and their families going through. We comforted patients before they were intubated and got good at counseling families when we didn't know whether their loved ones would live or not. We were simply present with patients and their families in fearful times. I will never forget the elderly veteran with lung cancer who also caught COVID. He chose not to be intubated. I held his hand for his family while they said their goodbyes through an iPad. I took care of a young veteran who caught COVID. During his clinical course, he became blind from COVID as well. As he continued to deteriorate, he made a final goodbye call to his wife, telling her how much he loved her and how he would fight to be with her. He unfortunately passed a few days later. Without any loved ones at his bedside, we bore witness to the grief and loss of those who lost their loved ones this year. We are also so proud of our patients who went through COVID and healed. It was an indescribable happiness to successfully extubate a COVID patient. It made it all worth it every single time. I'm sorry.
2020 was also a year of reckoning with police brutality and racism in America. The year 2020 was a year of fear, anger, sadness, and death, but it was also a year of strength, growth, community, and most importantly, love. At Grady, we care for many who bear the brunt of society's inequalities. Surgeons see the gun violence epidemic every day. OBs are fighting a Black maternal mortality crisis. Pediatricians are fighting for Black children's lives to matter. Psychiatrists are helping our patients through the mental health consequences of it all. Family medicine is trying to do all of it. And preventive medicine is trying to bail us out a little bit.
For me, seeing the protest against police brutality and related racial inequality felt connected to the health disparities I see regularly at Grady. Our Grady patients, more often than not, look like many of the victims of police brutality flash across the newspapers and TV news cycle. So it's easy to see the ways that living in a racist and inequitable society manifests as high blood pressure, depression, etc. As a Black physician, it's frustrating to see the cycle in play. However, it's been rewarding to find my place in trying to stop this cycle of illness. I have had a renewed sense of pride working next to all of my fellow residents, especially my Black colleagues, and it's made me that much more honored to be a residency graduate of Morehouse School of Medicine.
We are grateful to so many who we relied on for support in this year. The COVID pandemic brought me closer to my colleagues as they allowed me to vent fear and frustrations related to the pandemic and to work in general. I can't say that I made it through the past 3 years unscathed, but I did indeed make it, and that was largely because of the amazing people around me. Our interns and second-year residents went through the same experiences this year, but without the benefit of having worked in the ICU before. And I can only imagine it was even harder to cope with everything so new. Thank you to all of our attendings for teaching us and mentoring us. Thank you to our ICU attendings, especially Dr. Eric Flanaugh and Dr. Mario Ponce, who made us more confident and showed us true leadership.
We are deeply grateful to the nurses and the respiratory therapists who showed their fortitude, dedication, and commitment to patients while risking their health, spending the most time in the patient rooms. We thank them for teaching us when we started residency and saving our butts many times as well. We relied on our families for support. Thank you for helping us get to this day.
This year, we were fighting to heal patients when so much of what makes them ill is out of our control. Doctors always want to be able to fix stuff, but for too much of what makes our patients ill, from the COVID pandemic to the impacts of racial inequality and poverty, we can't control that. If there is a lesson to be drawn from practicing medicine this year, it is this. We felt powerless, we felt uncertain, but we cared for our patients. We gave them the best chance we could with the medicine and the knowledge that we had. And we hoped they would heal and stood by them. So in this way, medicine is an act of faith. Thank you.
Congratulations, graduates. I'm Dr. Sarah Vinson, the Program Director for the Child and Adolescent Psychiatry Fellowship here at Morehouse School of Medicine. We don't have graduates yet, but Dr. Wimberly let me come anyways. She asked me to give the program directors a response to what the residents shared today, and it is such an honor to be able to do that. There's a quote by James Baldwin that says, "It is certain that in any case, ignorance allied with power is the greatest enemy that justice can have." And I think that this year, we became reacquainted with the power of medicine and with the power of our voice. We had the syndemics of COVID and of structural racism affecting our patients and affecting our families disproportionately in this country. And what I loved about your comments, about hearing the holistic ways you described yourself, the holistic ways you described your patients, is that you don't just know what you need to know for your boards. You know what you need to go out and be agents of justice, not enemies of it. Thank you so much.
This has been phenomenal. Thank you so much for sharing those views. I just have to say, I'm blown away by the presentation that they just gave, being that I asked them to do this at 3:00 yesterday. So just imagine what would have happened if I gave them the appropriate time to prepare. But thank you so much. That was wonderful. That was beautiful. What I do want to do now is introduce our keynote speaker, someone very special and near and dear to us here at Morehouse School of Medicine, but also at Grady. And that's going to be Miss Jocelyn Baker. But let me tell you just a little bit about Jocelyn. She has her bio. It's in the booklet, but I'm going to allow you an opportunity at your liberty to read through the entire bio, and I will pick out some of the highlights. Jocelyn Butler Baker was named the president of the Grady Health Foundation in the fall of 2018, bringing to the position over 25 years of experience as a strategist, communicator, and fundraiser for a number of Georgia's leading organizations and individuals. Prior to this role, she worked with clients seeking to affect change in areas including healthcare, transportation, education, and conservation through her consulting practice, Butler Baker Communications. She served as a senior vice president for external affairs at the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, the state's largest business advocacy organization, from 2018 to 2015. She also served as the assistant general manager for communications with MARTA from 2004 to 2008, where she successfully led efforts to extend the authority's 1-cent sales tax and implement the nation's only 100% smart car fare collection system. Baker was honored to serve also as the press secretary to Georgia Governor Roy Barnes, and during that time proved her ability to craft compelling messages, develop quick responses, and manage media relationships. It was during this time that she was named one of 40 under 40 by the Georgia Trend magazine. While Baker loves her Georgia home, she is proud of her roots in New Orleans, Louisiana, which she left to attend Oglethorpe University, for which she now serves on the Board of Trustees. She and her husband, former Georgia Public Service Commissioner Bobby Baker, are active members of the Cathedral of Christ the King and reside in DeKalb County. When I asked Ms. Baker to come to speak at the graduation, she was so excited, y'all. She was like, Yolanda, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? What do they want to hear? And I said, whatever you give us, I think would be very much so appreciated and accepted. You guys may not know, but the Grady Foundation actually funds our Grady Resident Research Day every year without asking questions. This year we went up on the amount that we needed to fund. They didn't blink an eye. So they have been a staunch supporter of the residency programs at Morehouse School of Medicine, as well as at Grady Hospital. So I really do want to thank Jocelyn for her partnership with us, and also for taking time out of her busy schedule to come and just speak with us for a few moments on this occasion. Jocelyn?
Thank you so much, Yolanda, for your leadership and your friendship and for this amazing opportunity. I'm going to admit something. I have white coat syndrome. And so speaking to a whole bunch of doctors, you can only imagine my blood pressure right now. So I hope you'll bear with me. And I was very excited to do this, but I also took it very seriously because what you do is astounding. What you do is astounding every day. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how you're making a difference. But again, I do want to thank Dean Wimberly and Dr. Montgomery Rice, members of the faculty and administration, distinguished guests, today's graduates and your family that stood with you. I am truly honored and humbled to be here today to celebrate such an incredible achievement. Now, I know you just heard a long bio, but I'm sure you're also wondering, who is this woman speaking to us today? Why is she here? And I think that's fair. I mean, it's fair. I'm not an MD. I'm a supporter of MDs. I can tell you that Grady Health System is the most important thing in my whole life. And I have committed the rest of my professional career to helping that institution. And hopefully we'll get to know each other through that. But I feel like I do know you just a little bit. I've watched you. I've watched you as you've been in and out of Grady, and then I've heard the stories of you from Dr. Wimberly. You know, and I saw that regardless of the challenges of this pandemic, which we've just heard about on you, your families, probably for some of you, your children, for Grady, for the other hospitals you worked in, for hospitals around the nation, you never wavered. You never wavered in your commitment to your patients. You went in every day not knowing what the next day was going to bring. You were brave and you were strong, and we never saw you sweat. I also saw that as we learned the stories of victims like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and far too many others, it became even more important to each and every one of you to fulfill the Morehouse School of Medicine's vision of leading the creation and advancement of health equity. And most importantly, I hear firsthand from the patients you're with about how you've changed their lives and saved their lives and given them a second chance. And on behalf of them, I want to say thank you. There's nothing greater you can do for another human being. In my role as president of the Grady Foundation, it's my job not only to raise money to support our health system. I will wait till you start getting your attending checks to do that, so no fundraising pitch today. But it's really to help our community understand just why Grady, why is healthcare just so important? So I spend a lot of time talking to people about Grady. And I listen to them and I learn kind of what do they believe Grady to be? And what's become really evident to me is, most people have heard of Grady, so we're starting from a good place. Most people are familiar with our trauma center. They might be familiar with our burn center. They may have heard about our stroke center. They've seen our ambulances driving around town. And they know 9 times out of 10 that we're a hospital that treats patients who have nowhere else to turn. But what they don't know, more often than not, and more importantly, what I don't think they understand, is the role we really play in healthcare equity. And frankly, why that equity is important to each and every person in our community. They don't realize that our advertising tagline, "Atlanta can't live without Grady," is not just hyperbole. The early Greek physician Herophilus, who is seen as the father of anatomy, is credited with saying, "When health is absent, wisdom cannot reveal itself. Art cannot manifest, strength cannot fight, wealth becomes useless, and intelligence cannot be applied." While he made that argument 2,300 years ago, we all know it still rings true today. And I have no doubt that during your time as residents, you treated members of the current and next generations of writers and artists and teachers and entrepreneurs. Because of you, they will all have better health and therefore a better future. In 1966, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that's a bad name to flub. I'm gonna start over. In 1966, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. put the need for a greater focus on healthcare for all even more bluntly. In a speech to the convention of the Medical Committee for Human Rights in Chicago, you've probably heard this before, it's often quoted in discussions about disparities in care. He said, "Of all the forms of inequality, injustice in healthcare is the most shocking and inhumane because it often results in physical death." That speech was only one of many moments where Dr. King drew attention to the need to address inequality, not only in healthcare, but in all aspects of our patients' lives. Because we all know that the opportunity for health does not start in the doctor's office. As a nation, we've made some progress, but I have no doubt, and especially after hearing those who've spoken today, that you would all agree we have a long way to go. As Yolanda mentioned, I spent the first part of my career in politics and state government, and I'll admit it was great. I got to work for some great people. We did some really, really great things, but it also made me crazy because I'd walk into work every day celebrating things we were doing to fix problems as opposed to identifying solutions. We were saying, okay, what do we do with these people now that they're sick, as opposed to focusing on why they were sick? Spending all this money on last minute healthcare and trauma centers as opposed to preventive care and things that make sense to invest in on the beginning. And I think it's glaring in healthcare that this is an area we're really not focused enough on root causes. I mean, even as a 20-year-old working in a governor's office, I could tell you that the best way to address chronic disease was to keep it from happening. That if we focused on preventative care, you all wouldn't be dealing with an overfull Grady hospital each and every day. So that's why I'm here at Grady. I'm here at Grady because I want to be part of the solution. And this is one way I can do that. I can't practice medicine, but I can help create a strong environment for you to do so. And I'm willing to bet that you chose to practice medicine because you want to be part of that solution too. Dr. King's words are far too true for too many today. And as you move on to the next chapter, I hope you'll remember that by committing to serve our nation's most vulnerable, you are part of that solution. Just 2 days ago, we celebrated the life of a man more committed to solutions than anyone I've ever known, a man named Pete Carell. For those of you who don't know that history, he was the man who led the effort to save Grady when it was financially failing in 2008. Pete wasn't known just here in Georgia. During his presidency, Bill Clinton cited his leadership as an example of how this whole nation should follow his lead and do right and do well at the same time. Pete didn't have to try to do that. It was part of his ethos. Pete was self-made. He'd lost his father at 12 years old. He started his career at J.C. Penney, but he ultimately retired as CEO of a Fortune 50 company, Georgia Pacific. He was a man who was loyal to his family, strong in his faith, and generous with his wealth. He'd retired in 2006. He had a lot of money. He could have knocked back, played golf, just taken a break. But instead, he rolled up his sleeves, he raised $325 million, and he transformed an institution that easily could have gone the way of other safety nets and closed their doors. His achievement many thought would be impossible, but he did it by working relentlessly. He made the case to anybody who would listen to him that Atlanta simply could not afford to lose Grady and the service it provided this community. And even more impressive, he built a bridge that a very racially divided community at that time ultimately crossed together. Pete's impact on Grady will last for generations to come. It'll be in the stories of those who knew him will share, the gratitude of our patients who see the name Carell on the wall in our cardiac center. I know for me, every day when I walk into the new Carell Pavilion when it opens next year, I'm going to think about how proud Pete would be in his role in that addition to Grady, that option that's going to allow us to provide even better care to our patients, regardless of their ability to pay. I know he would have been the first one to say he wasn't exactly sure what he was getting into when he said he was going to save Grady. He didn't have a background in healthcare, and I mean, pulp and paper is a little different from medicine, but he believed that saving Grady was the right thing to do. In fact, he believed he was destined to be the man to save Grady. Why? Because he knew it served a population who, for a number of reasons, were more likely to develop chronic conditions that had nowhere else to turn. He also understood the critical role that Grady played in Atlanta's economy. And he feared that if the business community didn't stand up, if he didn't stand up and lead the charge, nobody would. He took up an enormous challenge, and he was not going to give up until he found the solution. Now, if Pete were standing here today, he would talk a lot shorter than me. He's a man of few words. But I know what he would have done is he would have challenged you to find your own way to do well by doing right. To remember that by doing the best in your chosen profession, by focusing on finding solutions, you will help others not be successful not only in their professions, but in their lives. He would also want me to ask you to please help us continue to tell the story to others about why Grady and institutions like ours are so very important, about how impactful the healthcare we provide within our walls is to the community, and how impactful what we do in our neighborhoods is for creating stronger health and therefore greater opportunity. Because of your experience, because of what you've done over these past years, you can be one of our strongest and most credible advocates. And you can ensure that we're able to build upon that legacy and make sure that we remain one of this region's most important solutions. As I close today, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for choosing to study medicine. Say thank you for choosing the Morehouse School of Medicine for your residency. Thank you for healing our patients, for becoming part of the Grady family, for helping our hospital and the others you served in remain lifelines for those who need them the most, and for pushing them to continue to evolve to meet our ever-changing challenges. Thank you for being part of the solution. There's no question that Grady is stronger and better because of you, and that the world will be too. Congratulations.
Dr. Reba Kelsey comes up for our presentation of the awards that you all selected, I would like to give special recognition. There are 2 of our graduating residents who were actually born at Grady. They are Grady babies. Jessica Ordu. Can you come forward, Jessica? And Charlita Worthy. Can you come forward? Hold it up. So to my knowledge, you all are the first ones. We're going to go back and ask others, but so far no one has said yes. But to my knowledge, you all are the first ones. So we'll have to make sure we ask that every year of our graduates. But this has been full circle for them, I think. Congratulations, lady. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Ms. Baker, for your most thoughtful words, and thank you for what the Grady Health Foundation does for Morehouse School of Medicine and will continue to do. So this is a really exciting part of the program, one that we enjoy each year when we have the opportunity to acknowledge residents, faculty, program manager, program assistant, and friends of Grady, all people who have done great work and require and deserve acknowledgement by us at the end of the year. This year in particular, one when, of course, as has been talked about, where we've dealt with COVID last year, and then this year in particular, this class is very special in that regard for, kind of dealing with a pandemic which at one point there was no sense of when the end was to come. And we're still kind of in that moment, although the numbers are looking better now. And so this class in particular really is to be applauded for your hard work, for your integrity, for the way in which you have forged forward in a time of uncertainty. And so I'm going to now announce the awards for first starting with our Faculty Member of the Year Award. And you will see the bios in the program of each of the recipients of these awards. And so I'm going to just kind of highlight some of what was mentioned by the nominators of each of these persons. So the first, the Faculty Member of the Year was described as being empathetic. One who recognizes the interests of the residents and incorporates that into his teaching. He was a hard worker who does not shy away from helping residents. In the height of the COVID pandemic, when the patients were at an all-time high and when resident numbers were sometimes low, he did not hesitate to help with procedures and even write resident notes. He was described as always providing sound advice, whether on his service or whether during consults. He was described as always looking for ways to help residents grow. And most of all, he was described as being a model of compassionate care, a strong work ethic, and professionalism. And so it is my great honor to award this award to Dr. Mario Ponce in Pullman Critical Care. He's in the ICU. So, Dr. Ivanye, would you mind coming to accept the award for Dr. Ponce?
Congratulations, Dr. Ponce, well deserved. Thank you. And thank you for nominating him, well deserved. Thank you.
And the resident of the year. So again, this year, every resident deserves an award. This has been, this group of graduating residents has endured a great deal and has thrived through that. Through that. So I'm going to talk a bit about the recipient of the award this year, who is from the Family Medicine program. The resident of this award is an integrated chief. So for those who don't know what that is, that's just someone who is doing their chief resident year during the time that they are still serving in residency. So at the final year of their residency, which means that while taking care of patients, while staying up with notes and logging work hours and logging procedures, studying and passing boards. While doing all of those things, they still have administrative responsibilities. They still are an ear to the residents, and they are still, as this resident has done, has a particular interest in ensuring that all residents maintain their well-being, and so ensures that she's accessible. To answer a phone, a text, a call. And because of the special nature of family medicine, where our residents rotate on other services, also is a great link between the family medicine residents and the internal medicine and pediatrics and surgery and OBGYN. And in that regard has been able to serve in many ways people even in other programs. And so I'm going to just a couple of other things that were mentioned in the nomination was that she's efficient in clinic and models efficiency for others, even teaches the session for the interns on how to be efficient in clinic. And finally, it's just a shining example of professionalism, leadership, and positivity through adversity. And so I'm delighted to present this award to Dr. Jessica Ordu. The program manager of the year. Now, I'm going to give a little warning to the program that has this program manager that Dr. Wimberly likes to steal really good program managers. So as I was reading the nominations for this one and I read about her, I said, oh boy, better be careful here. But so this program manager is described as someone who exceeds expectations. Says that she has been described as a gift to her department and a breath of fresh air, who brings light into every room that she enters. She's described as a hard worker who leads with dignity and pride. And she even mastered Zoom, both for interviews and lectures and other things that we needed Zoom for. She's always prepared and has a servant's heart. She exudes love for what she does. And as such, she has made residency for some better as a result of her presence. In the short time that she's been with this department, she's been helped to reshape the way the program functions. She's efficient, helps residents to stay on top of their deadlines, and has established systems that helps to put in place that have helped them, the busy residents, to be more organized, which is quite a feat. 1 month, although she's not a faculty member, she was even voted in her department as the attending of the month. And one of the graduating residents indicated that as she leaves Morehouse School of Medicine, that she is comforted in knowing that with this program manager there is nothing that the program is incapable of accomplishing. And so it is my great pleasure to present this award to the program manager of the OBGYN program, Kelly Hooper. So Dr. Wimberly is going to come to present the Friend of GME Award.
And one thing that I do want to mention is that the awards come with a nice monetary package. Each award recipient will receive $1,000 after taxes. Y'all know I'm detailed oriented, right? Okay. So thank you for that. The next awardee that I have, we started this Friend of GME Award probably about 6 or 7 years ago. And we decided that we wanted to have a Friend of GME Award. We would do 2 awards every year for people who really went above and beyond what their responsibility was as it relates to ensuring that our residency and fellowship programs operated in excellence. And so every year we always have this whole big conversation because we have probably about a list of about 6 or 7 folks on it, and we have to kind of pare it down to 2 people. And so it's definitely a good problem to have. But these are awards that we're presenting to people who go above and beyond what they really do have to do and what their job responsibilities are to help us out in GME. So the first award recipient is Mr. Christopher Smith. Is he here? Hello, Christopher. So Mr. Christopher Smith, he's an administrator and print specialist responsible for overseeing the call center and multiple meetings of printing services at Morehouse School of Medicine. So I'll just tell you that Chris is, I know he really cringes when he sees an email from myself or from Colleen or from Deanna. And he's always so gracious. And I'm like, Chris, you know what? You try to butter him up. I hope you're having a great day today. We have this excellent idea, and we really need your help with executing it. Can you give me like 2,000 copies of this in the next minute? I'm on the way down. But Chris, honestly, has been just a godsend to us. He is always professional. He is always there to help us. He is always there to make sure that we succeed no matter what. He goes above and beyond, comes in early, stays in late. Proofs all of our all the information that we send, and so we really want to just say thank you, Chris, for that. And our second Friend of GME Award goes to Dr. Elham Gonum, and you guys may be familiar with Elham. She is the Vice President of Patient Safety and Hospital Accreditation and Infection Prevention and Control at Grady. Dr. Gonum was really instrumental for us in ensuring that during the pandemic, especially, that we had the proper supplies that were needed. A lot of times, a lot of the N95 masks, all of the goggles, gowns, everything that we were needing, that were being supplied. Dr. Gonum was ensuring that we were making sure that we had that for you all. I don't think not one time that I reached out to Elham and or emailed or even ran over to the 11th floor over at Grady to ask her for N95 mask, ask her for things that she ever said no. Elham is a person that she will say, let me see how I can get to yes. Let me figure this out for you. So even with the scarcity, as you guys know, of the PPE that was going around nationally and also that we had locally, Elham was the person who always made sure she would say, Dr. Wimberly, I'm going to make sure that you guys are taken care of. Just let me figure out how to do it. So for that, I really do appreciate all of the behind the scenes things that she did. A lot of people really don't understand how difficult that was and how much she had to ensure that the hospital was supplied appropriately for that. Of course, supported by her supervisors, but she is definitely one of the hardest working people that I know, and I'm glad that we have her on our team at Grady. So Dr. Elham Gonum. And then our last award is the Ryan and Reggie Wimberly Award. And that is an award that I have been giving out. This is my 8th year giving the award out. When I won the Humanism in Medicine Award for AAMC, one thing that I promised to do with the award winnings was to put it back into the institution and to give out a Humanism in Medicine Award every year for a medical student. So I do it for medical students as well as for residents. And so this year, our awardee, let me see, I brought will you guys come up, Ryan and Reggie? Can you hear me? Will you come up, please? So I've named this after them to show them really to be a shining example of community service, and also to teach them, not just to talk to them, but to teach them in action of how humanism and community service is important. So this award is named after my 2 children, Ryan and Reginald Wimberly. And at this time, I would like to talk a little bit about the recipient of the award. The recipient of the award is Dr. Siobhan Stubbs. So let me tell you a little bit about Siobhan. So I've known Siobhan since she was a medical student, and she is a native Atlanta, and she actually is graduating from the family medicine residency program this year. You guys know the Hill Clinic? You heard of the Hill Clinic? That's Siobhan, right? So when she was a medical student, she was one of the leaders to being able to start that Hill Clinic and to actually keep it operational and functional for this long. And, you know, I'm amazed at that because I don't know if I could have done that as a medical student. That's a lot of hard work to put into it. And it didn't really have a lot of resources when we first started out. So it was one of those things where you had a lot of blood, sweat, and tears going into keeping this going. In addition to doing all of those things, finding the volunteers, those types of things. In addition, finishing up her coursework, getting into residency, just last year, having twin girls, you know, so she has had a busy life over these past couple of years and has still found it in her heart to help to start a clinic for the underserved and also for the homeless at Morehouse School of Medicine, a first of its kind in our school's history that is still operational, functional, and expanding to this date, and still be able to do all of those other things and successfully complete residency. So it was my honor to give you this award, the Ryan and Reginald Humanism in Medicine Award, Dr. Siobhan Stubbs. It's a syringe with a heart in it. And that comes with a monetary award as well. Okay. Yes, you can go downstairs now. I'll pay you your money later. Okay. Okay.
All right. One other award that that we were remiss to present, but it's so important, is the Program Assistant Award. And that goes to a program assistant who actually was coming from a program that was much smaller than the program that she came to when she came to Morehouse School of Medicine, but had a great sense of the depth and the breadth of the program here and was able to jump right in and really give great insight into ideas about the program's functions and activities. She is always ready and willing to work and learn. She is a self-starter. When the program went to the the X plus Y scheduling, she was kind of self-taught in terms of learning how to do that and put the schedules together for that type of scheduling. She is an innovator. She is very well organized, and she is actually the longest standing PA at Morehouse School of Medicine right now in GME. And so I'd like then to present to you Amari Schultz, who is the program assistant for internal medicine. And always does her work with a smile. And I'd like to bring to the podium Dr. Kawita Phillips, who will give a special recognition on resilience.
Resilience. The definition is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulty, toughness, elasticity. So in medicine and in residency in particular, as people have said all day today, there are many things that kind of come at you quickly. The wards, the faculty, the nurses, and of course the patients. But so too does life, because it continues irrespective of the 2, the 3, the 4, or the 5 years that is required for you to complete residency. You know when you begin that you will miss birthdays, anniversaries, family reunions, and even the births of your nieces, your nephews, and your godchildren. This is expected. And while it can be frustrating, you know that this too shall pass. So resilient is a characteristic that we all must imbue, and that over the course of 2020, all of you have shown us what it really looks like. However, there are some to whom this characteristic takes on a different life. For Dr. Cooper, it arrived unexpectedly and tragically, with the loss of our beloved mother and nieces just before COVID struck. However, despite the convergence of these events, she's persevered. Of course, she's not been alone, but she has continued to show perseverance. She's understood the higher purpose for which she has been called and has toiled mightily in its pursuit. So today, we're happy to present Dr. Cooper the GME Resilient Award.
You all can read more about Dr. Cooper's story. We've outlined it as well in the program booklet. But thank you, Dr. Cooper, for being with us today. Congratulations on your residency graduation. Next, we have just a special recognition before we get into the presentation of certificates. So programs, get ready. This is a special recognition that was really a a bit of a blow to us. Is Tara here? Miss Tara Douglas Williams, is she here? Can you come up, please, to the stage? I think she was here earlier. Okay. So Tara Douglas Williams has been at Morehouse School of Medicine for the past decade. And as part of what she does, all of you all probably have interacted with her. She is one of the clinical librarians at Morehouse School of Medicine, and she has really made herself very instrumental in our GME program with ensuring that you guys have all of the educational tools that you need. We talk about up-to-date, we talk about the books, we talk about all of your digital learning that you have. Tara is really responsible for a lot of that. She will be leaving Morehouse School of Medicine and joining Emory, but she will not be far because she now will be the director of the library on the 16th floor at Grady. So definitely continuing to serve Morehouse School of Medicine, as well as our Emory colleagues. But Tara has really been, for us in the GME office, just one of those people who has really always jumped in to be able to do training and ensure that you all have the educational resources that you need. She does all the lit searches, those types of things for our research enterprise, and she will be sorely missed. So in her absence, I would like to just present her award. I want everybody to see it. We will give her this award. I will put that in her, take it to her office next week. But I did want to publicly recognize the decade of service that she has provided us and wish her well in her new endeavor. But I told her she will never get away from us, right? Okay. Next, last but not least, I know people have been asking about, wondering what the resident loan repayment program recipients are. Every year, we do the resident loan repayment for those residents who are remaining in the state of Georgia. And this year, we had 14 applicants, and we had six recipients of the award. Every year, it gets a little bit more competitive because more of you all will submit an application. And so to date, Operation Keepsake, that's what the President Dean, Dr. Montgomery Rice, was referencing earlier in her comments. But to date, we have given out $1.4 million in resident loan repayment over the past 5 years to our residents. So for those who remain in the state of Georgia and become recipients, you get one $25,000 loan repayment in the first year, and then another $25,000 loan repayment in the second year, for a total of $50,000 per resident. This is a pretty competitive process. It really was something we worked hard for you all to make sure that we could do this for the residents. And I am so proud, and like Dr. Montgomery Rice said, it is definitely one of the best things that we have been able to do for the residency programs, to be able to help pay you guys loan. If we could do more, I would. I was going for 100,000, but they gave me 50. Y'all know me. And I was going for being able to give it to all of the folks who remained in Georgia. Unfortunately, we're not able to do that at this point, but hopefully one day we will be able to do that. So for the 6 recipients, they do not know who they are. I will call them out right now. And if you could please just come to the front of the stage to receive your check. Dr. Miranda McNair. She is from Apex, North Carolina, attended Apex High School in Apex, North Carolina, is a graduate of Meharry Medical College, yes, and will be practicing at Grady Kirkwood Health Center in Atlanta, Georgia. You want me to get in with you? Yeah. All right, congratulations. Miranda, if you can just stay over there, I'm gonna get one off you guys together first. Thank you. The second recipient is Dr. Jessica Ordu from Family Medicine. Jessica is from Stone Mountain, Georgia. She attended Stevenson High School in Stone Mountain, Georgia. She attended Ross University School of Medicine, and she will be working at Kaiser Permanente, the Panola Road location in Lithonia, Georgia. Jessica. The third recipient is Dr. Jessica Cooper. Jessica is from Oberlin, Louisiana. She went to Oberlin High School in Oberlin, Louisiana. She went to Louisiana State University Health Sciences Center School of Medicine in Shreveport, Louisiana. She will be working with my OBGYN PC in Riverdale, Georgia. The next recipient is Dr. Whitney Langford from the OBGYN residency program. Whitney is from Fort Washington, Maryland. She attended Oxon Hill High School in Oxon Hill, Maryland. She attended Morehouse School of Medicine for her medical school, and she will be practicing at Greater Atlanta Women's Healthcare in Atlanta, Georgia. Our next recipient is Dr. Chelsea Webb from the Pediatric Residency Program. She is from Lawrenceville, Georgia. She graduated from Decula High School in Decula, Georgia. She attended Morehouse School of Medicine, and she will be practicing with Daffodil Pediatrics in Forest Park, Georgia. Dr. Jay Morgan from the Preventive Medicine Residency Program. Dr. Morgan is from Atlanta, Georgia. He attended Benjamin E. Mays High School. His medical school was the University of Louisville in Louisville, Kentucky, and he will be with Concentra Urgent Care in Hapeville, Georgia. Let's give a round of applause for our 6 recipients of the loan repayment. And the banks are waiting for those checks. I bet if you take it and sign it, if we sign it at the bottom, you could take it. I'm just joking. But thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And just so I tell you correctly, we have awarded 28 graduating residents this award. The average debt of the applicants this year was $319,000, which is higher. Every year it grows, unfortunately, but the highest average debt was $319,000. So hopefully one day we will be able to get that down to 0 for you all. All right, and that is the first portion of the awards ceremony. I will now turn this over to the programs and the program directors. All right, so the first one is family medicine.
Good afternoon again. Dr. O'Malley will begin our remarks for family medicine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. So my name is Shadi O'Malley, the chair of the Department of Family Medicine, and I'm also a graduate of Morehouse School of Medicine's residency program. Thank you. And, we're the oldest residency program, and everybody likes family medicine, as you could see. Even the faculty member who won Faculty of the Year as a critical care person was in family medicine. It's a mistake, but that's what the paper says. But I do want to say, first of all, I have to say thank you to Dr. Kelsey. This year has been very overwhelming, not just about the pandemic, but she has carried the load of the residency program all by herself, essentially, I would say. No, I got you. And Dr. Smith, but I see what I see. All right. So on that note, I also just wanted to say thank you to our graduates. Thank you to every program out there, program directors, and Dr. Wimberly. We can't do anything without you. So I always have to butt up too, by the way. So I also want to say that, JFK said, not just what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country. So now you know what Morehouse can do for you. So those of you that got some 50,000 and some other money, make sure you send it our way so you can show us what you can do for Morehouse. I also want to say one last thing too, though, is that as we go out into the world, continue to learn to be compassionate when you're taking care of your patients. Don't say anything bad about your patients. And remember, your patients are human beings. They're not diseases, and we got to be careful what we say, because our patients, believe it or not, actually hear us. And that reminds me of a gentleman, an 80-year-old man who actually was hard of hearing, really. And he went to his ENT doctor, and the doctor got him some hearing aids. So a month later, he went back, and the doctor said, "You can hear 100%. I bet you your family must be excited." He said, "No, I have not told them, and I've changed my will 3 times." So on that note, I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Kelsey.
Dr. O'Malley is always a hard act to follow. So I am going to present our 6 graduating residents, and I'll talk about them a bit as a group. So this class has been through a great deal of change and transition between our administrative staff, between hospitals, even during their second year of training, while we moved for a few months out of the hospital where we typically had our inpatient service. And thank you to the internal medicine department for graciously accepting us onto our residents onto the teams at the VA. That was a significant change for them, and they, as you heard me talk about before about all the residents, but they endured through that and were very flexible in that regard, and learned and grew through it. This is through a class of residents that, as we return to our primary hospital, that continue to work hard, and we're leaders in that hospital. We're leaders through all of COVID, and really through a change of even our clinics. And we're patient and we're flexible in that move as well. All of them are outstanding physicians, phenomenal people who move with character, and which is most important, and I know are going to be of great service to the patients that they will care for in the future, both here and wherever they may go. I'm glad to say that they all are going to stay in Georgia for now. And so I will, yes. And so we'll start with Dr. Oluwole Akintayo. Dr. Akintayo will be a hospitalist with Sound Physicians here in Atlanta, Georgia. Dr. Akintayo. Dr. Fasia Basilo Du, who's the newlywed. Dr. Basilo will be practicing ambulatory medicine with Wellstar Medical Group. Dr. Siobhan Brown Stubbs, who will be practicing at Whiteford Family Medical Center here in Atlanta, Georgia.
I am her second mother.
Dr. Miranda McNair, who will be practicing ambulatory medicine at Grady Kirkwood. Dr. David Moise. Dr. Moise will be practicing in ambulatory family medicine at Pediatric Healthcare. I'm sorry, I said pediatric, Piedmont. I said Pediatric Healthcare. And finally, Dr. Jessica Ordu. Dr. Ordu will be practicing ambulatory family medicine with Kaiser here in Atlanta.
Thank you.
It's now my delight to introduce the internal medicine program.
Hi, I'm Rich Snyder. I'm the chairman of internal medicine. I would just like to congratulate all the graduates and wish them all the best in the future. And if you ever need anything, be free to call me anytime. Right now, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Vanier, our program director.
Thank you, Dr. Snyder, and good afternoon, everybody. Graduating residents, family members, administrators, it's an honor to present the pandemic class. It's all good. They saved lives, they comforted the dying, and they took care of families. These are a group of 24 compassionate, dedicated, and intelligent physicians that will be graduating to the world. They'll be all gifts to the world in the field of medicine. They've all met all the competencies and all the milestones. Mr. Wimberly, FYI. So I'm going to start the first, Dr. Temidayo Abe. Dr. Abe will staying back as the chief medical resident. Okay. You know, I just noticed something. The room is now half empty, so there is plenty number. Internal medicine number. Okay. Dr. Farai Ali will be pursuing fellowship in palliative care. She will be taking care of the dying and the... Congratulations. Dr. Ihoma Alenor will be going to inpatient medicine here in Georgia. Congratulations. Dr. Philip Benner, we're going to inpatient medicine over at Seattle, Washington. Dr. Muhammad Bilal, we're going to inpatient medicine in Alabama. Dr. Christopher Boone is still undecided. That's what happens when you have a lot of offers. Dr. Christopher Campbell, we're going to inpatient medicine. Okay. Dr. Salom, before we're going to inpatient medicine in Atlanta. Congratulations. Dr. Gabrielle Dialil, she'll be staying back at the chief medical resident. Okay. Dr. Florence Ilo will be practicing inpatient medicine in Rome, Georgia. As you all noted, a lot of our residents are going to inpatient medicine. That's a testimony to Grady Hospital and the VA Hospital. So we thank our stakeholders for making this happen. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Kamal Kau will be one of the fellows, inaugural home critical care fellows. Congratulations. So Kamal will still be in the Grady ICU saving lives. Next will be Dr. Ngom Kika Atem. She'll be practicing inpatient medicine in Oklahoma. Dr. Maxi Mayet will be practicing inpatient medicine here in Georgia. He changed his mind. He was going to go to Florida, but he loves Georgia so much, he's staying back. Okay. Dr. Onyedikachi Michaels will be representing us in inpatient medicine in Missouri. Dr. Michaels was voted as the best dressed resident by the president, so you can see that. Okay. So Jenny Miller will be practicing inpatient medicine here in Georgia. Congratulations. Dr. Chinyone Mwabara will also be practicing inpatient medicine in Shreveport, Louisiana. Okay. Dr. Emeka Nwokike, is he here? Dr. Nwokike had a family emergency and we wish him the best, but he'll be practicing inpatient medicine in Florida. Dr. Precious Odubong will also join the crew of inpatient physicians here in Georgia. May congratulations. Sam. Dr. Samuel Obuchi will also be practicing inpatient medicine in Georgia. Dr. Ngozi Okanu will also represent Morehouse in the field of inpatient medicine here in Georgia. Okay. Dr. Shivani Puna will also join the legacy of inpatient physicians practicing in Huntington, Virginia, West Virginia. Congratulations. Dr. Perry Stanley will also be here in Georgia practicing inpatient medicine. So we're going to loan out Dr. Sharita Wadi to NIH for a fellowship, and she'll be back here in Georgia. She's going to be going for fellowship in endocrinology. I'm sure she'll be back to grade as a grady baby. Dr. Yonte Wright, we are in Georgia practicing inpatient medicine. Let me introduce you guys. All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. The hardest working program in the institution is the OBGYN program. And if the internal medicine program think that they need to realize we're very competitive, and we intend to use as much time as they did, even though we only had 4 people. I also see that Dr. Childs is not here. I don't know if I should say this, but the COVID situation has allowed all of us, even the surgeons, to work hard for a change. So he has had to do that. So he's home taking a nap right now. No, Dr. Charles sends his regard, actually, and he's there at Grady working and is unable to make it. So, okay. Again, I want to just thank all our residents. I think that, when we apply and have residents apply to our program, and even faculty for that matter, one of the things I always say is the fact that Morehouse is a family. And this year, or at least the last academic year with the crisis, really proved me right on that. I want to thank all the residents because, they're at the front line at a time when we didn't know what this thing was. And they were out there working, putting themselves and their family at risk. And I don't think people realize how significant that is. And I want to thank all of them, all the consults that our service asked for, folks who are so happy, the surgeons, the internists, the subspecialists, and everyone. And they worked together to make what happened, at least at Grady, much better than it could have, better than it could have been in terms of problems that we could have. And it's because of that family atmosphere that is created. So I really, I'm happy about that and happy I'm a part of this organization because we're doing right by our patients as well as those around us. It's really a family that we have here at Morehouse School of Medicine. So, we have made a transition, at least in our program. Dr. Gary, who has been the residency program director since its inception, actually stepped down, and Dr. Kawita Phillips has taken over. And he really knew what he was doing in turning it over to you, Dr. Phillips, because you have done an exceptional job with Dr. Elwin Warju and Kelly as the program director. So I want to thank them for their work, and I want to thank the faculty, and not just of my department, but all the faculty in the institution, and all the administrators and staff, both at Morehouse and at Grady, essentially, that has gotten us through this whole year. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Phillips.
All right, hello again. We have 5 residents who are graduating today, one of whom graduated early, but we're glad that she returned so that we can give her some formal congrats in person. We have a 4-4 program, and our residents, like all of you and everyone in here knows that the residents work hard. Our obstetrics and gynecology residents have had to learn primary care. They have had to learn obstetrics, and of course, all of the things that go along with you being great surgeons. And they have really toiled and mastered those things. So for that, we say thank you and congratulations for all of the work that you've done. And we hope we wish you the best with your future endeavors, and know that we are always here for counsel and for help. So without further ado, our first graduate is Dr. Ginger Baker. She's going on to Seven Hills Women's Health Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Dr. Jessica Cooper, who's the administrative chief resident, is going on to my OBGYN in Riverdale, Georgia. Next resident is Dr. Zuri Hemphill Bryant. She will be at Piedmont Women's Healthcare here in Atlanta, Georgia. Our next resident, who completed in February, I have lots I could say about her, but we'll wait till tonight. Dr. Whitney Langford. She will be going on to Greater Atlanta Women's Healthcare, also here in Atlanta, Georgia. And for the record, they will all be doing full service OBGYN, not ambulatory. Last but not least, Dr. Gail O'Haviland. She is going on to fellowship in maternal fetal medicine at the University of Mississippi. Thank you.
Dr. Wimberly, I want an investigation. I don't understand why family medicine got their own page.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lynn Gardner, Program Director for the Pediatrics Residency Training Program here at Morehouse School of Medicine. And before I get started, someone left a phone up here, just FYI. But I would like to speak on behalf of my chair who's not here today. I know that she definitely wanted to be here and sends her apologies. But I think I know I speak with my team, and for our department chair when I say that we could not be prouder to be a part of this institution, to be a part of the mission and vision of Morehouse School of Medicine. And, the fact that we get to take care of children every day, we couldn't be in a better place. And so we are delighted to be able to introduce our graduates this year. I would also like to quickly introduce our team. We have Audrey Thomas, our program assistant, Anita Albritton, our program manager, and Dr. Roger Burko, our associate program director. I make apologies for Dr. Siobhan Brooks, who's our other associate program director who couldn't be here today, as well as Dr. Shamia Austin, who was our chief resident who was out with her new baby. So we're delighted for her as well. As we get started, I would just like to say as a group that this group is a phenomenal group of women who are graduating from the training program. You all know, we won't go into the details, but you all have really been through it this year. And so my hats are off to you. You are strong, you are resilient, you're amazing, and you're going to make an incredible difference in this world, and I couldn't be prouder of you. So congratulations to you all as a group. First to the stage, we would like to present Dr. Lucinda Agasarkeesian. Dr. Agasarkeesian will be practicing general peds in some capacity in the state of California, and I'd like to echo Dr. Ivanye's sentiments. It is what happens when you have lots of options. So, congratulations. Next, I'd like to present Dr. Irene Gamra. Dr. Gamra will be headed to her fellowship in pediatric gastroenterology at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. Congratulations. Next, we have Dr. Kayla Ibidapo. Dr. Ibidapo will be completing a fellowship in global health at the University of California at San Francisco. Next, we have Dr. Margaret Maggie Ridge. We have the pleasure of having Dr. Ridge, who will remain with us as our chief resident for the 2021-2022 academic year, and then will pursue a fellowship in pediatric hospital medicine. Congratulations, sweetie. And then last but definitely not least, Dr. Chelsea Webb. Dr. Webb has done a phenomenal job this year as well and will be joining the Daffodil Pediatric Group in Forest Park in primary care pediatrics. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Maddox, Chair of Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences, and we're certainly excited for our 3 graduates. They've done an excellent job, 4 years of training, and certainly we know that we've had a shortage of psychiatrists before, but the demand is going to increase significantly post-pandemic. But I also want to acknowledge the hard work on behalf of all of my GME team, Dr. Cosby, PD, Dr. Calabithra, Associate PD, and Ms. Tiffany Burns, our program manager. So I will turn it over to Dr. Cosby.
Good afternoon, my Morehouse family. It's so good to see y'all. Y'all look great. Y'all really do. So I am so proud to be here and to present our graduates to you. This is my 8th year, I think, as program director. 9th? Oh, this is my 9th year as program director. One of the things that I have enjoyed the most each year is just getting to know the identity of my group and the graduates that are coming up next. And usually, we're a 4-year program. It takes me a good while to kind of learn my people. But this group, I actually figured out who was in my room their very first 6 months with me. They are absolutely amazing. From day one in that first 6 months where they walked through and they had just life happening to them, everything from the birth of amazing little babies to, unfortunately, the death and the loss of immediate loved ones, and all of life's ups and downs in between. And then we just top it off with a little pandemic just for show. So, but the way they managed it was with absolute grace. Their identity is definitely rooted in strength and perseverance without a single doubt. Every program director's dream. I heard not one complaint, and I'm like, how are they doing this? But they did it. So we are very proud to present to you our 3 graduates today. First up, we have Dr. Jayla Barnett. Dr. Barnett. Dr. Barnett served as our educational chief this year. She is undecided on where she's going, but she is she has an obligation. She's a member of the National Health Service Corps, so we know that she'll be in a rural area. Dr. Barnett. Dr. Barnett Gentry, my bad. Next up, we have Dr. Kendra Michelle. Dr. Michelle served as our clinical chief resident this year, and she will be staying here in Atlanta with the Atlanta VA. That's that mom model right there, Roderick. And last but certainly not least is Dr. Thacker. Dr. Yesha Thacker will be staying in Georgia at Tanner Medical Center, Willowbrook in Villa Rica, Georgia.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Beverly Taylor, Professor and Chair of the Department of Community Health and Preventive Medicine, and I'm also the founding director of the Preventive Medicine Residency Program. Though I've stepped aside, I have been called back today to do the presentations as our program director, Dr. Sonja Hutchins, was not able to be here with us today. I'm very excited to be able to do this today. especially at this particular time when public health and preventive medicine is at the forefront of everybody's minds as we deal with the COVID pandemic. Our residents have gone through a very, very rigorous training. They may not have been in the emergency rooms, but they were behind the scenes analyzing data, doing contact tracing, and developing protocols for ambulatory care centers to be able to still see patients during this particular time. So our work is different, but even more important as we try to make sure that our people, our families, and our communities are safe. This year, our training program is designed such that our residents receive a Master of Public Health degree. This year was special for us in that two of our residents were in the inaugural EMPH program and did quite well. Also, one of our residents spearheaded the publication of a journal that's already in PubMed and receiving several hits on the availability of naloxone in 2 underserved urban communities in Georgia in the Journal of Public Health Management and Practice. All 3 of the residents were co-authors on this particular journal. So we're very happy and proud of them for the work that they've done. And I'm going to call Ms. Carla Durham-Walker, who is our program manager extraordinaire, to come and introduce them to you as we give them their awards.
Good afternoon and congratulations to all the graduates, and we're very excited to welcome our graduates. This is the first time we've been together in person in over a year. So they've been working hard and accomplishing great things in the interim, and we've been staying connected virtually. We'll welcome up first Dr. Jay Morgan. Dr. Morgan will be joining Concentra after his time here with us. Next, we have Dr. Parth, go in alphabetical order, Carla. Dr. Parth Saraya. Dr. Saraya will finish our program in mid-October, after which he will join an addiction medicine fellowship at UNC Chapel Hill. And we have Dr. Tremaine Wilkinson. As Dr. Taylor mentioned, Dr. Wilkinson was part of the inaugural Executive MPH program here at Morehouse School of Medicine, where she graduated in top honors and was inducted into the Public Health Honor Society, the Delta Omega Society. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, and congratulations to everyone. I'm Dr. Shanita Johnson. I'm the program director for the hardest working department, the Department of Surgery. On behalf of Dr. Childs, our chairman of the department, who could not make it, he wanted to send his congratulations. He also is very happy, Dr. Matthews, that you have a day off at the second hardest working department that we have. Dr. Horde and Dr. Chavez are our 2 graduating residents this year. I could not be prouder I have watched them over the 5 years develop as physicians, and not just as physicians, but as leaders. This has been a tremendous year. And the two of them have been phenomenal leaders for their department, for their residents, and also we are so proud of who you have become and who you will be, not just as surgeons, but as leaders for the community and the world. They are both going into fellowships in trauma and critical care. And Dr. Hord is here. I will introduce him first. He is staying with us in Georgia at Emory, where he will be joining their trauma and critical care fellowship. Congratulations, Dr. Hord. Our other graduate is Dr. Mary Rebecca Chavez, equally an important leader for the department. You know, last night we were able to have our residency graduation, and to hear their fellow colleagues speak about their leadership was really touching. And so we are very proud of the product that is coming out of Morehouse School of Medicine in surgery and the surgeon leaders that have been developed. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to all the graduating residents. And on behalf of the section of cardiology, we want to extend our wishes to you as you go out into practice. My name is Dr. Anikwe Onwanyi. I'm the chief of cardiology. And the cardiology program started about 4 years ago, the first fellowship training program at the Morehouse School of Medicine. And unfortunately, last year, we couldn't graduate our first class of fellows, but this is a great opportunity for us. And without any further delay, I'm going to hand over the mic to the program director, Dr. Eccles.
All right. Thank you, everybody. So as Dr. Onwanyi said, yes, the first cardiology, the first fellowship that we have from Morehouse. And actually, I graduated from Morehouse School of Medicine in 2002. So 19 years later, it's really, you know, sort of surreal to be here as the program director for this fellowship program. So our fellows, hardworking as they are not here. So we will introduce them, and then I think we will take a picture with their plaque since they're not here. So the first is Dr. Obiora Egbuchi. So as many of you know, Dr. Egbuchi was a internal medicine resident here. He came into our program and I'm really amazed. I mean, I've been here since 2019, and I sort of came in on their latter part of their first year as fellows. And it has been amazing to see how these little baby cardiologists have grown to be these awesome physicians who will one day be awesome attendings. And so he is actually going to be going to the Ohio State for a subspecialty fellowship, interventional cardiology. This is a very, very esteemed program, and we are very proud that he's going to represent us well. So Dr. Egbuchi. And lastly, we have Dr. Bishoy Hanna. Dr. Hanna is actually he was a resident with Emory, and he too was a budding first year whenever I arrived. And what was really good and interesting about their relationship is they really worked together very well. They were both competitive, and so they taught each other, and both of them have become great teachers. Dr. Bishoy Hanna will actually go to the University of Washington for his electrophysiology fellowship. And again, this is a very esteemed program, and we all get to work on the organ that keeps you all here, Dr. Matthews, the heart. And so we are very happy and excited that they will do well. So thank you so much. Well, last but not least, she did not want me to do this, but I also want to introduce Ms. Wendy Wright, our program manager. She is actually the program manager for the Cardiovascular Fellowship as well as the Pulmonology Fellowship. So we have one pulmonology fellow in here this year who will know her well. But she has been an amazing program manager, stepped in around the time that I came, and she has just been amazing in terms of her work ethic and her ability to adapt. So we want to say thank you so much.
We are now at the end. And before I start to give the closing remarks, I just have a few announcements. If all the graduating class can just hang behind here for photos. And everybody else, if you can go to the next room, we've got some refreshments for you guys. Good afternoon, fellow graduates, family members, faculty, and staff. This has been a wonderful commencement ceremony. On behalf of the graduating class of 2021, I want to say thank you to Dr. Montgomery Rice, the President and Dean of Morehouse School of Medicine, Dr. Yolanda Wimberly, the Associate Deans of Graduate Medical Education, and ACGME designated institution official, all the senior associate deans, departmental chairs, program directors, associate program directors, faculty, and supporting staff. It is not an easy task to sail a ship with this many fellows and residents and students on board, especially considering the turbulent time this past year. We appreciate your skilled leadership, your perseverance, commitment, and support. With the exception of the cardiovascular disease fellows and OBGYN and surgery and psych, everyone else here, we started together on this journey 3 years ago when we gathered for GME orientation in the atrium of Morehouse School of Medicine. We were green. We discovered EPIC and the nooks and crannies of grading together. Simple admission order was a 1-hour event. We started as a seed, but we have now bloomed. In the words of one of my attendings, we are now ready to fly. People that spoke before me, they have already given us invaluable words of wisdom to accompany us as we transition to the next phase of our career. I would like to add these 3 words of wisdom to what we have already heard. Number 1, remember your humble beginnings. We are now joining the higher echelon of social and professional status. It is easy to forget that we were not always where we are at this moment. Therefore, I want to challenge you today to resolve to be humble, and to see people who have not achieved the degree of success that we as people have achieved today, as people that are still transitioning into their own greatness. Furthermore, I encourage you to remember those who have helped you along the way, and in turn, to be the helping hand or an encouragement to others whenever you can. Number 2, continue to pursue equity. Morehouse School of Medicine leads the creation and advancement of health equity. It is in the spirit of health equity that we were trained and molded. So, as you advance in your chosen fields, always remember that every patient has different circumstances and resources. Make every effort to give your patient what they will need to have a good health outcome. Number 3, continue to cultivate intellectual curiosity. Though there is no more core curriculum, we are now enrolled in a lifelong elective, and we are our own program directors. To continue to successfully preserve the lives and the quality of lives of our patients, we must set a standard for ourselves that will anchor us to continued excellence. So, in conclusion, to the graduating class of 2021, we have fought the good fight. We have kept the faith, and we have now finished the race. So, come on. So I want to say to you, arise and shine, for your light has now come. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.